Welcome to the latest Phillies Nation presented by BQ Basement Systems. It's Corey Simon, it's Pat Gallen with you here from the Fieldhouse Sports and Beer Hall. And Corey, we've got some gourmet tailgating tips coming up. We've got a lot on the show, Ken Giles as well, but we begin with a promotion. Another guy, we're not talking about the big league team right now because they struggled over the weekend scoring runs. What we're talking about is Aaron Nola being promoted from AA Reading to AAA Lehigh Valley, and he absolutely tore it up at AA. Check out these numbers on the season so far for Aaron Nola. 7-3, a 1.88 ERA, a whip well below 1. But that strikeout to walk ratio is a beautiful thing. Just 9 walks, 59 strikeouts, and in 10 of his 12 starts, 2 earned runs or fewer. So Corey, I ask you, does this change anything as far as getting to the major league level? Does the timeline move at all?
Well, this was a long time coming, this promotion from AA to AAA. When we just saw those stats, the number that jumped out at me was the .89 whip. Aaron Nola hasn't pitched much of the season under stress. They've been low-stress innings. He's been mowing down the competition. AAA will offer him former big league hitters, many more former big league hitters in AAA than there were at AA.
Right.
You asked about the timeline. Super 2 doesn't seem like it's a consideration anymore. The whole service time issue and speeding up Aaron Nola's clock, I don't think it's going to play much of a role the second half of this season.
Right.
I could see him making a handful of starts at AAA and being up with the Phillies by August. I mean, I don't see why not. It's been assumed all along that Aaron Nola will be up with the big team at least by September, and we've seen a lot of players from that draft already debut.
That is exciting, and Aaron Nola actually the second youngest pitcher in the International League. He was born in 1993. That means that you and I are getting very, very old here. So Aaron Nola makes the move to AAA. And another guy that could be on the move as well, Jonathan Papelbon. And the trade talks have absolutely heated up. There are a couple of teams that are possibly in the mix for his services. The 34-year-old closer is having a great year so far. As you know, he's still doing it. An ERA just above 1, a whip just above 1. So where does he go?
Better numbers as a Philly than he had as a Red Sox for Jonathan Papelbon. I think the Blue Jays are the team. They've been linked to him. Couple reports out there, one by Jim Salisbury, one by John Heyman over at CBS, but the Blue Jays stick out because they have a lack of starting pitching and a lack of bullpen depth. So they need to cure both situations, and the Phillies have the players to get a deal done. Now, you ask what might the Phillies get in return?
Well, they've been talking about trying to get Daniel Norris from the Toronto Blue Jays, who's one of the hot prospects. Is that right?
I don't see that happening.
No way.
I don't see that happening. When I look at a package, you're probably, for a closer, you're probably going to get guys who are further away. I look at the Houston Street deal from last summer as the baseline.
Okay, yeah.
So if you look at this, the Angels traded to get Houston Street Jose Rondon, who was a shortstop, the centerpiece of the deal, who was further away. They got 2 top 100 prospects. Right. Taylor Lindsay was one of them. 2 pitchers. One of them who, at the time, Elliot Morris was the Angels' top pitching prospect. RJ Alvarez, a back end of the bullpen piece. That is a good return. Now, the only difference is that Street, the following year, was owed $7 million. Papelbon, next year, was owed $13 million. Right. However, that's where the Phillies kicking in money comes into play, because if the Phillies kick in half of next year's salary, then all of a sudden Papelbon and Street become the same price. And I think they'd be eyeing a baseline return like that.
Is there any way, because they've been talking about this now seemingly 2 years or something with Papelbon, and I know that he wants to move on. Is there any way that he possibly stays put?
I can't see that. If there's anybody on this team that I think will be gone by July 31st, that I would, really bet the house on, it would be Papelbon, just because there's so many teams that need bullpen help, and because the contract is not as crazy as it used to be. I mean, you're only looking at a half season's worth of pay this year, if not less, and the $13 million next year, of which the Phillies have shown. Look, the Phillies ate half of Marlon Byrd's salary this year.
Yeah, they did.
Okay, so I don't see why they wouldn't kick in like $4, $5, $6 million of Papelbon, and that should make him all the more attractive.
All right, Papelbon may be on the move, but Michael Franco, we know he's staying put, and he is hitting very well right now for the Philadelphia Phillies. He's been red hot and through his first 30 games or so, coming off a 10-game hitting streak as well. Exactly what we wanted to see from him.
What's been most impressive for me with Michael Franco, what's shown me the most that he belongs in the big leagues, is how he's hit good pitching. Yeah. Look at this graphic right here. Michael Franco against some of the top pitchers in baseball, 9 for 18. Home runs against Aroldis Chapman, Steven Strasburg. He hit Madison Bumgarner. He had a couple hits off Garrett Cole, including a double.
Right.
If you're hitting those guys, most of the pitchers on that list are right-handers. That shows to me you're staying in the box. You have the capabilities and the abilities to stay in the major leagues for a while. Michael Franco is showing the Phillies exactly what they needed to see from a power department. The guy's second on the team in homers. He's 5th in the team in RBIs despite being here, a month?
Yeah.
So, I mean, this has been the greatest sign of a dismal season.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And it's pretty impressive that he really has had no lineup help from anyone else either, and he's been able to do these great things. Phillies draft. They just recently finished up the 78-round draft or whatever the heck it is right now. But first pick in the draft for the Phillies, 10th overall, Cornelius Randolph. Great bat. Don't know a whole lot about the defense, though, and he's a few years away.
Phillies scouting director Johnny Almaraz thought Cornelius Randolph was the best high school bat in the country. Now, he wasn't ranked 10th. He was ranked 19th by MLB.com,
Right.
20th by Baseball America. How much stock you want to put into those rankings, that's up for debate. But Cornelius Randolph, a smooth swinging lefty. I had a chance to talk to him via conference call last week. He said that he models his game after Robinson Cano. If you can become 60% of that player.
Sure.
But very clear that Almaraz was targeting bats in the beginning of this draft. Almaraz himself said last week that he was considering pitchers, but he would only pick a pitcher over a batter if he saw the guy as a number 1 or number 2. Anybody that's mid-rotation or worse, he's not sacrificing the bat. So with Cornelius Randolph, the Phillies are trying to add a middle-of-the-order left-handed power hitter to their lineup, and he's going to play some left field. I saw Phillies fans freaking out that he was drafted as a shortstop.
Yeah.
Well, the best players on every high school team play shortstop.
Absolutely, but there is obviously risk involved with these high school bats, which they have gone through before.
Right.
There's a little less risk in their second-round pick, and looking at their top 5, what do you see?
Well, I really like the Scott Kingery pick. He was projected by some to go in the first round.
Yeah.
The Phillies got him out there at 48, but what I found interesting was that their 3rd and 5th round picks, Luke Williams, Bailey Falter, both of them unranked. Real quick on Bailey Falter, Almaraz said that he watched him pitch, he scouted him personally, and that Falter, despite pitching just like 88 to 91, has the type of command that you rarely see in a high schooler. So, that's a guy to keep an eye on for the future.
So there was a little bit of a dust-up in the dugout in Pittsburgh with Ken Giles and some of the coaches on the staff, but we actually got a chance to catch up with Ken Giles not that long ago. Here it is.
Hey Phillies Nation fans, we're here at the Sports Vault in King of Prussia Mall for the Ken Giles autograph signing, where we got to catch up with Ken and some fans that came out to see him.
I think he's part of the future of the team and hopefully the future closer.
It's great. I mean, everything, just knowing that I have that love and support in this city of Philadelphia and just knowing that they have a lot of faith in me and not just me and the whole team, I think it's a great thing to have.
Ever since probably last year, maybe a year and a half ago when I heard about him, besides Jimmy Rollins, he's been my favorite player. So now that Rollins is gone, he's my favorite player on the team.
I was a complete nobody a year and a half ago, and now I'm just one of these guys that everybody wants to see now. Everybody wants to be friends with kind of guy. And I'm just out there, I'm just like trying to wrap it around my head and stuff like that. I'm just like, oh my God, now I have to put it on disguise so I don't see anybody. It's great though, it's awesome.
He seems like he's, all about it when he's in the game. He's always there and ready to go.
Mentally, I'm just going out there like, hey, don't try to do too much. Just do what you know. Everybody knows what you can do, and the other team knows what you can do. So the other team should be more worried about facing me than having to do anything else.
Phillies Nation is presented by BQ Basement Systems, the Philadelphia region's premier basement contractor.
I'm Brian Quinn from BQ Basement Systems. Call us for all things basement-y. Ask us about our polylevel concrete leveling system. It's a cost-effective, less disruptive, permanent solution, and it has a quick cure time. It can be driven over or walked on in 15 minutes after installation. Since 1997, over 7,000 customers have trusted us. Visit us at bqbasementsystems.com or call us at 1-800-339-2070.
If you're a sports fan, you need to check out Sports Vault. Our stores will surround you with a great selection of autographed memorabilia, licensed apparel, trading cards, and novelties. Want to meet your favorite local and national superstars? Sports Vault brings the legends to you with dozens of in-store appearances. Check out any of our 3 locations in King of Prussia, Exton, or Moorestown. Or visit sportsvaultshop.com and use the code PhilliesNation to save 20% on your next order of autographed merchandise.
In a world where bankers have lost all interest, where robots and fat cats rule our fortunes, one woman will stand up and strive to do the impossible. Be treated like a person. Friends and neighbors will join her quest. Ordinary people will band together against the forces of corporate greed. And together they will form Philadelphia Federal Credit Union, already in a neighborhood near you.
Philly has a long sports history filled with great players and moments. Shibe Vintage Sports in Center City relives the glory years with fashionable attire for all your favorite teams. Separate yourself from the crowd with the hippest Eagles, Phillies, Flyers, and Sixers gear. Pick up some unique shirts featuring local teams of yesteryear, or come to fun events where you can learn about your favorite teams. So if you're a sports fan, then you need to check out Shibe Vintage Sports. Visit them at 13th and Walnut or shibesports.com.
Phillies Nation is filmed each week at Fieldhouse Sports and Beer Hall in Center City, Philadelphia. Come by all season long for delicious food, daily craft beer specials, and live music every Saturday. Welcome back to Phillies Nation, presented by BQ Basement Systems. It's Corey and Pat with you. This segment is brought to you by the Sports Vault. Come meet legendary Phillies closer Brad Lidge Saturday at their store in the King of Prussia Mall. Tickets at sportsvaultshop.com. We go down on the farm. We start with an injury to a quad from Roman Quinn, who has been red hot at Reading. He's been hitting over 300, showing good speed, good gap power. Not the best time to have an injury.
Well, he can overcome it. He overcame an Achilles injury a couple years ago, so I don't think a quad is going to slow him down much. But yeah, it's probably a month of missed developmental time for Roman Quinn, who had been hitting really well lately. As you said, I think 350 during his hit streak and 29 stolen bases in 58 games. He's still a guy I look at as potentially a 2016 September call-up and the Phillies center fielder of the future. Just a little bump in the road for Roman Quinn.
And another outfielder of the future, maybe the distant future, Carlos Tocci. Jay caught up with him, but check out some of these numbers. Very, very impressive in the lower levels of the minor leagues this year.
Wouldn't be surprised at all if Tocci got the call to move up a little bit. He's at Lakewood now. I wouldn't be surprised at all if he was promoted in a little. And he is a guy the Phillies signed as a very young man, a teenager, and he's another guy you can project forward as an outfielder of the future. His offensive numbers didn't really show up until this season.
No doubt. Here is Jay with Carlos Tocci.
The big name for Lakewood this season is center fielder Carlos Tocci, who's among the league leaders in several offensive categories, including batting average. Tocci's almost a lock to represent this Blue Claws club in the Sally League All-Star game here in June.
For me, no doubt about it. If you got a legit, chance to go and you make it, you got to be proud, because you don't have the chance every year.
The 19-year-old entered the 2015 season as a .232 hitter in 3 pro seasons, but had been steadily regarded as a top prospect by many. This year, Tocci has made the necessary adjustments to start proving scouts and forecasters right.
He made a lot of improvements this year on recognized pitches. We've been working a lot on stay short to the ball and eliminate movement. The hand and eye coordination that he has is a gift. Not everybody has that. But once again, he's been hitting the ball pretty good and using the whole field, which is a good plus for him this year.
I recognize the better pitches, like sinker in, 2 inches in, the slider away, or in the dirt. So I'd be select at the play and just the ball in play.
With his contribution to the plate, Tocci has been the catalyst that has helped the Class A Blue Claws maintain a respectable record through the first half of the season.
He just makes everybody around him better, and for me, I think the one word that I think sums up Tocci is confidence. And he's a very confident player. He's confident at the plate. He's not scared to hit with 2 strikes, and he's a very good base runner. But his baseball instincts, for me, are the number one thing that I've heard about. And to get a chance to see him play day in and day out, it's been a real pleasure getting a chance to watch him play. I love watching him every night.
Another key to Tocci's game is his stellar defense, which is said by some to be Major League ready, even drawing comparisons to a 7-time Gold Glove Award winner.
He dominated the center field real well. He can remind me, maybe Torrey Hunter, when I was with the Twins, I see Torrey playing center field a lot and became Torrey, I think he's going to be a really a plus defender in center field.
With loads of attention on the young Venezuelan and an all-star nod on the horizon, the next bit of recognition Tocci might see is a promotion to High A ball later this month. For Phillies Nation at First Energy Park in Lakewood, I'm Jay Floyd.
Phillies Nation is sponsored by Shibe Vintage Sports. Check out their new Stadium Series line of shirts at 13th and Walnut in Center City or shibesports.com. Live sports. Craft beer. Great food. Good times. What more do you need? Every day is a party at Fieldhouse Sports and Beer Hall, the largest sports bar in Center City. Come to 11th and Filbert to see what you've been missing.
The biggest problem with your phone is not a low battery or no signal. It's about what it does to your posture. Hi, I'm Dr. Lenny Roberts from Summit Spine and Wellness. For well over a decade, we've been helping the greater Philadelphia region reach their health goals. This is the most common posture problem that I see, but you have no idea about the long-term neck and back issues you can suffer from if you don't correct your text neck. You don't have to live like this. We can correct your posture. Your initial consultation is free. Call Summit Spine and Wellness now at 215-487-2500.
Spring is in the air. Unfortunately, for many of our Delaware Valley customers, spring means wet basements and crawl spaces. If this is something you struggle with, call BQ Basement Systems. We're the experts in identifying where the water is coming in from, how to get it out, and how to keep it out for good. Give BQ a call, and one of our certified inspectors will come out to give you a free evaluation and estimate. Visit us at bqbasementsystems.com or call us at 1-800-339-2070.
Philly has a long sports history filled with great players and moments. Shibe Vintage Sports in Center City relives the glory years with fashionable attire for all your favorite teams. Separate yourself from the crowd with the hippest Eagles, Phillies, Flyers, and Sixers gear. Pick up some unique shirts featuring local teams of yesteryear, or come to fun events where you can learn about your favorite teams. So if you're a sports fan, then you need to check out Shibe Vintage Sports. Visit them at 13th and Walnut or shibesports.com.
Welcome back. It is Phillies Nation. Pat Gallen, Corey Seidman with you. This segment brought to you by DraftKings. Play daily fantasy baseball for free. DraftKings.com, and you can enter the promo code PHILS for free entry. So we go back to our picks from last week. I guess I did pretty well. Roenis Elias, the pitcher from the Seattle Mariners, my guy from last week, had a good outing earlier in the week. 6 innings, 1 earned against Cleveland. Not so good on Sunday, but I told you to start him earlier in the week anyway, so I'll get a pass on that, right? How about Carlos Correa as well? 2 home runs and a double in his first week in the majors with the Houston Astros. Did strike out 8 times, but also knocked in 4 runs.
Yeah, your pitcher allowed 8 earned runs last week. Mine allowed none.
That's
so
right.
I win, don't I?
But he didn't even pitch, did he?
Right, so Aaron Sanchez, I told you to start him last week. He went on the DL. He did not pitch last week, so that was that. Xander Bogaerts, I picked third baseman shortstop, went 6 for 25 last week. 3 RBIs, 2 runs. Not great, but not terrible either.
Yeah, not bad. We've got our picks for next week coming up, but right now it's Natalie with Luke Palladino from Palladino's in South Philly. She's got some tailgating tips for you.
Thanks, guys. We're back here again at Palladino's at the corner of Broad and Passyunk for another great tailgate recipe. What do you got for us today?
Today I have grilled swordfish. I'm making a sandwich out of it, and it's very unique. It's with a chipotle barbecue glaze, snowflake roll, which we make ourselves, bib lettuce, red onions, and our smoked chili ranch dressing. It's amazing.
Wow. And this is swordfish.
This is swordfish. I'm using sword. To make it interesting, you can use salmon if you wanted. You can use chicken breast if you wanted. You can grill chicken thighs if you wanted to do, boneless. And you can obviously you can do pork, or you could do a turkey burger. You could do a regular burger. The chipotle barbecue makes it great.
So this recipe is not just limited to swordfish. You could basically do it with whatever you want.
I love chipotle barbecue is somewhat spicy. So this is a variation actually of our burger deluxe. It's our cheeseburger deluxe we do, and we do the meat. And it's a great cut. It's on our bar menu. It's on our happy hour menu. But I wanted to show you some swordfish just to make it a little more interesting for the tailgaters. I'm turning the bottom of the swordfish to make cross hatches or grill marks, if you will.
Is that what they're called? I didn't know that's what they were called.
What it's called. Grill marks, yes, or cross hatches, yeah.
Cross hatches.
Now let's take the barbecue, the chipotle barbecue glaze, and let's baste it on top. And you want to be generous with this, and as it cooks on the other side, it'll start to glaze and it'll create a glaze on top with the barbecue sauce.
So you cover the whole top of the fish?
I do the top and the sides.
Okay.
You can see it now. See it starting to bubble and get glazy looking.
Looks
It's changing.
delicious.
Smell that?
I can smell it.
All right, so now we'll take our snowflake rolls. I put a little bit of, you put any type of butter, oil, I put a little chili butter on them.
Okay.
You could pre-slice these, dress them, and bring them to the game just ready to go on the grill.
What's the difference between a snowflake roll and a regular roll?
Snowflake rolls have a long history. I remember as a kid I used to get them, and they're very soft rolls, so we make our own. They're made with butter and flour and eggs and milk, so it's a very soft style bun or roll, and they're called snowflake rolls because they're dusted with a good bit of flour.
Okay.
And you can find these at local bakeries here in South Philly. So let's grill these up. I like them toasted on the bottom. So get these again over the fire. And you see buns they're very fast. The fastest thing you can grill. You got to watch them actually. Most people, when they put buns on the grill, they burn them immediately because they grow very quickly, yeah. Yeah, you don't want to step away from the grill at any time while you're cooking. If you're the designated grill person, you got to stay there, you know, it's your job. Have everyone else bring you items, whatever you have from the cooler, you know?
Okay.
All right, so that's beautiful. I can go like that, so we'll do that. Smell that? You smell the glaze on that? It's really great.
Yeah, that smells so delicious.
All right, let's go over and assemble these, okay?
Sounds good.
Yeah, so now you see we have the snowflake roll grilled beautifully, nice and crispy. The cross hatches you're learning. And you can see them on the swordfish. So what I like to do is I'll take the bun, and this is smoked chili ranch. We make it from scratch here at the restaurant, but I'll give you a recipe where you could take ranch dressing and doctor it up with some smoked paprika and some Cajun spice, and you could basically duplicate what we do almost. It's just as good. So I like a lot of it on there. I'll do it pretty generously here. I think it really makes the sandwich. So swordfish is cooked beautifully. Put that on. I love to have lettuce, red onions on here.
Now, the funny thing is, this doesn't even, it's not too complicated. It's just simple ingredients.
Simple ingredients,
So
and
what's gonna
just
be a
a few
phenomenal
things
sandwich.
done well on the grill outside, and you're putting on a show for your friends. No one's tailgating like this. So
No.
look at that, it's gorgeous.
I will be.
So let's take, we'll cut it in half and let's give it a try.
Okay.
Yeah, so look at that. That's beautiful, beautifully cooked. Great bun, nice and crispy. Let's give it a taste. Juicy.
That is delicious. Well, thank you so much, Chef Luke Palladino. Again, make sure you guys get down here. We're at Broad and Passyunk at Palladino's. Stop on your way to the Phillies games. You can definitely check out the recipes. They're going to be on philliesnation.com. Make sure you get here, get your sandwiches. So delicious. Thanks, guys.
Play daily fantasy baseball for free on DraftKings.com with the official daily fantasy partner of Major League Baseball. Enter promo code PHILS for free entry.
Behold, we are in the presence of champions. Fantasy sports legends who have earned hundreds of thousands of dollars playing online. Meet Arlie Gonzalez. Average guy, superior sports knowledge. Picked a team in minutes and won enough to throw the party of a lifetime. In outer space. Former accountant Derek Bradley. DraftKings One Day Fantasy Baseball took him from a guy with holes in his underpants to a guy with bikini models in them.
How do we turn our love of fantasy sports into reality cash?
DraftKings.com. They have one-day games, so you're not locked in. It's like a new season every time you play. And best of all, you could win a shipload of money.
Start playing today for your share of $1 billion. Use promo code PITCH and get free entry in our 100K baseball contest on opening day. More sports, more winners, more millionaires. Get to DraftKings.com now.
In a world where bankers have lost all interest, where robots and fat cats rule our fortunes, one woman will stand up and strive to do the impossible. Be treated like a person. Friends and neighbors will join her quest. Ordinary people will band together against the forces of corporate greed. And together they will form Philadelphia Federal Credit Union, already in a neighborhood near you.
I'm Brian Quinn from BQ Basement Systems. Call us for all things basement-y. Ask us about our poly-level concrete leveling system. It's a cost-effective, less disruptive, permanent solution, and it has a quick cure time. It can be driven over or walked on in 15 minutes after installation. Since 1997, over 7,000 customers have trusted us. Visit us at bqbasementsystems.com or call us at 1-800-339-2070.
Travel is not the exciting adventure it used to be. I still love the destination, yet getting there can be a hassle unless you travel like the pros. Major League Vacations offers exciting personal or group travel options to your team's away game or your favorite vacation destinations. MLV does all the legwork. You focus on the experience. For more than 20 years, MLV has been a trusted partner to thousands of people just like you. Visit MLV.com and make travel exciting again, or call 800-222-6256. Tell them Ricky Bo sent you.
Welcome back to Phillies Nation. Pat Gallen here with you. And Ian Riccaboni is with the 1952 AL MVP Bobby Shantz. He is at Bucks County Baseball Cards in Bristol.
When did you develop the knuckleball?
I used to fool around with the knuckleball quite a bit, and I had a pretty good one, but I didn't know where it was going half the time. That's the reason when I came with the athletics, I didn't even throw it. The 1 year I was in the minor leagues, I didn't throw it that much because I had a pretty decent curveball, and threw the curveball in the dirt. In the minor leagues, they swing at it, but in the big leagues, they don't swing at it. So.
What were the butterflies like in your stomach pitching at Shibe Park for the first time?
I had butterflies every time I went on that mound, believe me. Man, those guys were so big, and I had to change speed. Joe Astroff was our catcher, and he came up to me. He said, they started banging me around pretty good, and he said, we're going to have to start changing speed. I changed speeds on my curveball all the time. I always did that, but I had to change speeds on my fastball, too. So when I learned to do that, I started having some pretty good success in the big leagues.
So in 1952, you pitched the 5th and final inning of the All-Star game, and you struck out all 3 batters you faced, including Jackie Robinson and Stan Musial. What was that like?
You really had to change speeds, and you had to have good control. As long as you could change speeds, and I had a pretty decent curveball, and my control was all right. So I just hung in there with him. I was a little leery about pitching against Ted Williams and those guys, but I did pretty good with him for a little guy.
Thanks, Ian. Thanks, Bobby. Now it's time for our picks for this week in fantasy baseball, brought to you by, once again, DraftKings.com. You can enter the promo code PHILS at DraftKings.com. Who you got this week?
This week I have Byron Buxton, the #1 prospect in all of baseball, called up over the weekend by the Minnesota Twins. He batted 9th in his debut. Even if he doesn't hit immediately, I think he's going to be a very good source of stolen bases, so I would go with him in center field. Starting pitching-wise, I have Chris Tillman, slated to face the Phillies Tuesday night. Yeah. Okay, so that's a juicy matchup anytime, and he faces the Blue Jays later in the week. Toronto began the week on an 11-game winning streak. That has to end soon, and that is a slump-prone lineup when they go cold. I'm going to go with Kendall Graveman of the Oakland A's as my pitcher for this week. His last 5 starts, he's been pretty good, and a .677 OPS. The San Diego Padres have that, and he's going up against them on Thursday, so that's a juicy matchup, as you put it. And also Nolan Reimold of the Baltimore Orioles as my hitter. He has only played 5 games so far this year, his first week coming up from AAA. Good source of power. You can pick him up on the waiver wire. He's available in most leagues in Baltimore. Kills lefties.
He does kill lefties in Baltimore, playing against the Phillies this week. Yeah, you want to pick this guy up and see what he can give you as far as power is concerned. That's it for us. That was a quick 30 minutes. He's Corey Seib, I'm Pat Gallen. For everyone here at Phillies Nation, we'll talk to you next time.